part of the show where I usually tell a story, but we're going to switch it up. But you will have a host telling a story, because tonight we're going to have my illustrious co-host tell a story, which we usually have her do. It's like we give you a once-a-year pass. I'm like, yeah, you do it once a year. But her stories are amazing. I'm so glad that she's doing it tonight. She, you might see this little flyer on your table. She has a show coming up, the Avant Accordion Brain Smash, which is awesome. I can't explain it to you except that she plays an accordion, she wears a wig, and there's definitely a song about Machiavelli, which is fucking awesome. So you should definitely go to this. I've seen it multiple times. It's amazing. She's also the creator, writer, and performer of the one-person show. I'm from Chicago. Sometimes it comes out when I'm drinking. Shout out! The Star of Happiness, which is about Helen Keller on vaudeville, which is also amazing. And I'm so happy to bring her up here. So please welcome my co-host and one of my favorite people, Dr. Michelle Leona Godin.
All right. There's your mic. All right. You stay out of my spotlight. He's always trying to hog it. This story I'm going to tell you right now is set in the Stone Ages. It's going back to when I was a young thing traveling around Europe backpacking for 3.5 months with my best friend Indigo. We took a little detour to the continent of Africa. We went to Morocco for the very excellent reason that Indigo was conceived there by her surprise, surprise hippie parents. I'm going to tell you this. I was not then the free spirit that I am now, and so I said, you know, we should be very careful about going to Morocco alone. We should really find some escorts. Like right now, we've got 2 hours on this ferry boat, and let's find 2 escorts. And we found a couple of British nice young men to fit the bill, except that unfortunately one of them had a disease that was a lot more noticeable than mine. My eye disease was not noticeable at all at the time. So he was not allowed into the country of Morocco. He got stuck. He had eczema on his hands. Apparently, we learned later that you need to bribe everybody for everything, but we didn't know that at the time. So we had to leave the eczema-handed Brit and his friend at the border. And I'm just going to tell you right now, a lot of crazy stuff happened in our few days in Morocco. We never really made it past the border town of Tetuan, which is kind of like the Tijuana of Africa, sort of shitty and charming at the same time. And we left them there, and nothing after this. It was all out of our hands from here on out. We basically had no control over our lives for the next few days. Case in point, as soon as we crossed the border, we were sort of shuffled into this taxi. We had no idea what was going on. We found ourselves in the back seat of a taxi cab, sandwiched between these two young men, Moroccan young men. And in the front seat was the driver and a little boy playing like this weird little handheld video game. It sounded like Donkey Kong. It made the whole thing surreal. And his mother in this like Bedouin outfit. And so these two young men are, you know, we're all talking it up, and they're, oh, where are you from? Oh, America. We love America. You know, we're speaking in, you know, Arabic. Well, they were speaking Arabic, English, French, Spanish. Flirting, you know, oh, you were the funny one, oh, you're the smart one, you know. And then we were like, okay, thank you, bye-bye, we're going to go to the train station. We kept up this pretense of, like, we're going to meet our friends, you know, our British dudes that got stuck at the border. We're going to meet them at the train station, so bye-bye. But the two Moroccan guys got out of the cab with us, and they said, oh, we'll keep you company. I think they knew that we were bullshitting them and that we had nothing to do. So we sat there and pretended like we were waiting for our British men to show up, and it was getting later and later, and so finally we gave up. We crumbled, and we said, okay, fine, just take us to a hotel, find us a hostel. So they did. And we said, okay, thank you, bye-bye. And we're going to go take a shower. And they said, okay, we'll be back in an hour to pick you up. And what were we going to do? I mean, honestly, we had no British escorts. We'd have to settle for the Moroccans. And we had nothing. It's not racist. It's just like you need escorts from another country. It's not the same when they have a house there and family. So we only had tank tops and, you know, jeans and big belts and stuff. So it was like, well, what are we going to do in Tetuan by ourselves? So we said, okay, fine. We go upstairs, we take our showers. We're like, well, we won't tell our mothers this. This is probably not a good idea on paper, but we feel okay about it. And we had been traveling around for a while, so we're okay with this. So we got, and of course we want to go shopping, so they take us, we go shopping to their friends' stores, and we were shown lots of rugs and given a free meal, which is great for Americans. We're like, oh, free meal, couscous and chicken, it was delicious, and lots of flirting. Oh, you were the funny one, you were the smart one. and you know, what makes an American buy but, you know, flirting and eating couscous, and so I bought a rug. It's a little rug, a little prayer rug, and I still have it. They sent it to me, as a matter of fact. My friend Indigo bought lots of jewelry, like crazy nipple piercing stuff, and then my dude Mohammed bought me a sparkly scarf because now I was the funny one and the smart one. And we went to, we were starting to feel more comfortable, and we went to their house, which was basically their family's house, and it was kind of fun because we were not women or men exactly. We were somewhere in between. We were served by the women and children, but we were flirted with the men, and they would cut off little bits of meat for us, and that was lovely. And then Fatima, the mother came out, and she said, you are going to stay with us for the next, as long as you are in Tetuan. She said this through translation. You're going to stay with us. We have a traditional Moroccan wedding that you will go to. You will come. You will stay. And we were like, okay, there's children, women. I mean, how dangerous could those be, right? So, the next day, we bring our big old backpacks to the family home, and we do the rite of passage that all American little hippie chicks do in Morocco, which is get your hands henna'd. And it was very sexy. So, and then they put bags on your hands because you can't get the henna everywhere. And then the fun, like, oh, stop, okay, it's not sexy anymore. No, actually, things are getting ramping up here. So they actually, it was about to be sort of this family gangbang, I think is what they were really going to go for, because they put us in our bedroom, and then suddenly all the women are trying to take our pants off, and then there's like kind of heavy breathing outside of the door and stuff, and giggling, and Indigo and I do what every good American girl does to save herself from a family of people who want to marry or have sex with Americans. We played the clowns, and we started kicking up our legs and like, oh, and we had big belts and jeans on, and they don't know how to do belts, and big old like BMW like punk rocker belt. So we managed to get out of that. Everything was pretty much okay after that. We went to the traditional Moroccan wedding, and we were the guests of honor. We were apparently sort of good luck, which was hilarious because we were both the children of divorced families. And it was beautiful. We drank some beer, and I was starting to really fall in love with Morocco. And for the next couple of days, Indigo caught me kissing my Mohammed, and she was mad at me. But it was beautiful. It was a beautiful country and delicious food. But the food, it was building up in me. Let me just say that, because the family house, well, it had a very, it had TV. I mean, it was a nice house and everything, and they had a big bathroom. But the bathroom just had just a little hole. under the shower. A little, like a really kind of a small hole for the kind of food that we had been eating. Under the shower to go into, and I mean, granted, there were like feet prints for where you put your feet in order, but not everybody's femur is the same length. I couldn't figure out how things were gonna make it down the drain, and I really was not prepared to shower with the food that I had been eating for the last few days. And so finally I can be very, very stubborn. Apparently it was a national holiday, but I was like, I need to get back to the European continent. And I made it happen. And I made it happen, and I got out of town. I was like, bye-bye, Mohammed. And Mohammed actually, I mean, he really liked me. He sent me this robe that was from neck to floor, but I made a shirt out of it. And this is not the robe that he sent to him, but it inspired. So I would like to think that that it was my reason that got me out of Morocco to not stay there and sort of fall in love, which is the direction I was going. That my reason would have said, like, not a good idea to get mixed up with guys that hang out at their local border. Giving, sparkly scarves to every passing American. There was a picture of the last American that he had given a sparkly scarf to. But it was not my reason that got me out of there. It was my innards. So thank you to my innards and Allah, and thank you to you for listening to my story. Thank you.